In the vast, remote expanse of Siberia, there lies a village that holds a title no place on Earth truly wants. This is Oymyakon, a small settlement in the Sakha Republic of Russia, and it is one of the coldest permanently inhabited spots on our planet. Here, the very air you breathe can freeze, and survival is a testament to human resilience. The landscape is a canvas of white and blue, where smoke from chimneys hangs motionless in the frigid air, unable to rise. This is a world sculpted by an extreme, unrelenting cold, a place where winter is not just a season, but the very definition of existence. But how did people come to live here? And what does it take to build a life at the edge of what is humanly possible? To understand Oymyakon, we must start with the land. The village sits in a deep basin, flanked by two mountain ranges. This unique topography is the primary architect of its extreme climate. During the long winter, cold, dense air from the surrounding highlands sinks and becomes trapped in this valley, a phenomenon known as a temperature inversion. The mountains act like the walls of a bowl, preventing the frigid air from escaping and allowing it to cool even further. This basin was carved by ice and time, and beneath the surface lies another critical element: permafrost. The ground here is permanently frozen, in some places to a depth of over 1,500 meters. This frozen earth acts like a colossal insulator, preventing any geothermal warmth from reaching the surface and locking in the cold for millennia. The nearby Inhabited River, which ironically gives the valley its name, Oymyakon, means non-freezing water in the Sakha language, referring to thermal springs, contributes to the biting humidity that forms a persistent, thick ice fog. The climate mechanics at play are a perfect storm of cold. For nearly 3 months in winter, daylight shrinks to just a few hours of weak, slanted sun, offering little to no warmth. This period of polar night allows for extreme radiative cooling, where the snow-covered surface radiates what little heat it has back into the clear sky. Compounding this is the Siberian High, a massive semi-permanent bubble of high-pressure cold air that dominates the region in winter. This system brings stable, calm conditions, which means there is rarely any wind. While that might sound like a relief, the lack of wind prevents the mixing of air layers, ensuring the coldest, heaviest air remains settled at the bottom of the valley. The air is also exceptionally dry, yet the cold is so profound that any moisture, from breath, car exhaust, or the nearby river, instantly sublimates into ice crystals, creating a surreal, shimmering atmosphere. Long before it was a point on a map marked for its cold, this land was home. For centuries, the indigenous Sakha people, also known as the Yakuts, have thrived here. They were traditionally semi-nomadic, masters of this environment, herding their uniquely adapted, frost-resistant reindeer and horses across the taiga. Their culture is woven from the threads of this landscape, built on a deep understanding of its rhythms. They knew where to find shelter, how to hunt in the frozen forests, and how to preserve food for the long winters, often sharing smoked meat and flash-frozen fish. Their survival depended on an intimate knowledge passed down through generations, particularly the art of layering furs to create insulated microclimates against the skin. Russian explorers and traders began pushing into this territory during the 17th and 18th centuries, establishing trade routes. But it was the 20th century that brought a new kind of attention. The Soviet government, driven by scientific and strategic interests, established permanent settlements and weather stations. Oymyakon, once a seasonal stop for herders, became an official year-round village and a crucial data point for meteorologists. By the Soviet era, Oymyakon became a scientific marker, a place where the limits of cold were officially recorded. Thermometers here regularly plunge below -50 degrees Celsius. The unofficial record, set in 1924, is a staggering -71.2 degrees Celsius, or -96 degrees Fahrenheit. In such conditions, daily life becomes a contest with frost. Everything must be adapted. Homes evolved. Modern houses are built on concrete stilts, elevating them a meter or more above the ground. This prevents the heat of the building from melting the permafrost below, which would turn the foundation into unstable mud. Triple or even quadruple glazed windows are standard, and doors are heavily insulated. Central heating, powered by a local coal-fired plant, is a lifeline. pumping hot water through a network of heavily insulated pipes that run above ground. To bury them would be to risk them freezing and rupturing in the unyielding permafrost. Vehicles evolved too. Standard cars are almost useless here. Most residents rely on rugged Russian-made UAZ jeeps or trucks. Getting them started is a daily battle. Many vehicles are kept in heated garages, and those left outside are often left idling for hours, sometimes all day, to prevent the engine block from freezing solid. If a car is turned off, it may not start again until spring. Batteries lose their charge almost instantly, tires can become brittle and shatter, and even gasoline can freeze. Mechanics are masters of improvisation, using blowtorches to gently thaw frozen axles and brake lines. And the routines of life have evolved. Simple tasks become monumental challenges. There is no indoor plumbing in most older homes, as the ground is too frozen to bury pipes. Outhouses are the norm. Water must be sourced from the thermal plant, or hacked from frozen rivers in large blocks to be melted indoors. Food is bought in bulk, as the single village shop has infrequent deliveries. The local diet is rich in meat and fish, often eaten frozen in thin slices called stroganina, providing the high-fat energy needed to survive the cold. Despite the hardships, a resilient community of a few hundred people thrives here. The economy is small, based primarily on reindeer herding, hunting, and municipal jobs at the heating plant and school. In recent years, a new industry has emerged: tourism. Adventurers and curiosity seekers from around the world travel here to experience the extreme cold for themselves. They come to take a photo at the Pole of Cold Monument, to receive a certificate for visiting, and to witness a way of life so different from their own. This has brought a small but welcome economic boost, with local families offering hospitality and guided tours. The village is connected to the outside world by the Kolyma Highway, famously known as the Road of Bones, a stark reminder of the region's tragic history, built by Gulag prisoners during the Stalin era. For the people of Oymyakon, it is simply the road, a vital but treacherous lifeline for supplies and travel. Humans are not the only ones who have adapted to this extreme environment. The native wildlife is just as resilient. The Yakutian horse is a marvel of evolution, a short, stout breed with a thick, shaggy coat that can withstand temperatures below -60 Celsius. They are able to sense and dig for vegetation buried deep beneath the snow. Reindeer, central to the Saka way of life, are equally hardy. Only the toughest of birds, like ravens and ptarmigans, remain through the winter. The surrounding taiga forest, though sparse, is alive. And on clear, cold nights, the sky puts on its own display. The lack of light pollution and the crisp, dry air make Oymyakon one of the best places on Earth to witness the ethereal dance of the aurora borealis. The extreme reputation of Oymyakon has given rise to many myths. Stories of birds freezing in mid-flight or spits shattering like glass before it hits the ground are common. While the cold is severe, daily life is more practical than sensational. People don't spend much time outdoors. A few minutes of exposure can lead to frostbite on any unprotected skin. Wearing glasses is a hazard, as they can freeze to your face. But life goes on. The school only closes if the temperature drops below -52 Celsius for the younger children. For the older students, it must be below -56. The people here are not just surviving, they are living. They have found a rhythm and a routine that makes life in the freezer of the world not just possible, but normal. Today, Oymyakon is a fragile icon. It stands as a living community, a unique tourist curiosity, and an important climate bellwether. The very foundation of this town, the permafrost, is under threat. As global temperatures rise, the frozen ground is beginning to thaw. This process, invisible at first, is now causing buildings to sag, roads to buckle, and the landscape to shift in unpredictable ways. Locals report that the winters, while still brutally cold, are not as consistently severe as they once were. The extreme cold that has defined this place for centuries is changing. For a community whose entire existence is built upon the certainty of ice, this warming threatens its frozen rhythms and presents a new, uncertain future. Oymyakon is more than just a point of extreme cold on a weather map. It is a symbol of human endurance, adaptation, and community. It is a place that reminds us that life can find a way to flourish in the most inhospitable corners of our world. The people of Oymyakon do not see themselves as victims of the cold, but as custodians of a unique heritage, living in harmony with an environment that would defeat most others. Their story is not just about surviving the winter, it is about the warmth of community, the strength of tradition, and the remarkable resilience of the human spirit in the face of the planet's most profound and enduring cold.